brilliant question, and it's a really interesting question because I guess it can be quite hard to disentangle exactly what the role of the gallery or the intermediary is. If we rewind 20 years ago, what was their role and kind of what is their role now? And many people find it very easy to think that actually, are they really that necessary in this ecosystem? Do we need to have a sort of a middle person between the artist and the collector? And you could, from a sort of I guess from an idealistic perspective, you could form the assumption that actually there is no need for an intermediary. Why can't the artist directly sell to the collector? Now that's one position. I think that it's very, very important to consider actually what role the intermediary plays, because the gallery, not only does the gallery, by its very nature, support the artist in ways that are so unseen by the traditional sort of through the public lens, that it becomes very complicated. But galleries can support artists through stipend. Galleries can support artists through inclusion in shows. That basically their role is effectively to produce the career of the artist in a particular way. They provide introductions to curators to get artists' works in museums. They do all sorts of things. They participate at art fairs. They do all sorts of things under the hood, as they say, which it is very, very hard to sort of to really quantify. So I guess my answer is, whilst that business model is certainly being interrupted, disrupted to some degree, the process of disintermediation, or basically getting rid of the middle person, I don't think it's going to fully be executed to its final to totality. I do suggest that you will have intermediaries, but I suggest that within the Web3 space, that role of the kind of the middle person is becoming more and more obsolete. Now, with the middle person comes some form of protection. Because you've got a trusted set of, a third set of eyes, as it were. You've got someone who has a reputation. They've spent a long time creating that reputation. And so, people listen to them. People sort of value what they say. In the direct sale mechanism that we might be seeing more of within the NFT space, I think there's a little bit more risk associated with it. But then perhaps that risk becomes sort of null and void when you think about the purchasing motivations for the collector, which might just be, actually, I really like this work. I really like the community that I might be able to be participating within. And so I'm pretty happy to absorb those risks. My appetite for risk might be slightly higher in that space. I don't really need those kind of traditional pillars to sort of to rely on, the kind of the insurance safety net of the traditional art trade. And I'm willing just to take a bit of a punt, because I can see where it might be going. So my really, really long answer is, whilst the traditional business model of the art trade is certainly being battered from all sides, I don't suggest, in the near term anyway, I don't suggest all middle participants, including auction houses, are going to be going away sort of anytime soon.